The Eiffel Tower is in which European city? Paris. The Eiffel Tower, an iconic wrought iron lattice tower, is located on the Champ de Mars in Paris, France. Named after its designer, Gustave Eiffel, it is a global cultural icon of France and one of the most recognizable structures in the world. The Abduction from the Seraglio, Il Seraglio, is an opera by which composer? Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. The Abduction from the Seraglio, German, Die Entführung aus dem Serail, is a Singspiel by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Premiering in 1782, it is one of Mozart's most celebrated operas and a cornerstone of the German operatic repertoire. The former African nation of Nyasaland is now known by what name? Malawi. Nyasaland was a British protectorate established in 1907, encompassing the southern two-thirds of present-day Malawi. It gained independence from British rule in 1964 and was subsequently renamed Malawi, with Dr. Hastings Banda becoming its first president. Edward Seymour, 1st Duke of Somerset, was executed for treason during the reign of which English monarch? King Edward VI. Edward Seymour, the maternal uncle of King Edward VI, served as Lord Protector of England and de facto ruler during Edward's minority. His execution for treason in 1552 was a significant event, reflecting the intense political power struggles and religious shifts during the early years of the Protestant Reformation in England. Bibliophobia is the irrational fear of what? Books. Bibliophobia is a specific phobia characterized by an intense and irrational fear of books, reading, or even libraries. This condition can significantly impact an individual's life, affecting their ability to study, work, or engage in activities involving written material. English statesman John of Gaunt was regent to which future King of England while he was too young to take the throne? Richard II. John of Gaunt, Duke of Lancaster, was a powerful and influential English prince and statesman in the 14th century, son of King Edward III and father of King Henry IV. He played a critical role as regent and advisor during the minority of his nephew, Richard II, exerting considerable influence over English politics and foreign policy of the era. In medicine, Hansen's disease is better known by what name? Leprosy. Hansen's disease is the official medical term for leprosy, a chronic infectious disease caused by the bacterium Mycobacterium leprae. It primarily affects the skin, peripheral nerves, upper respiratory tract, eyes, and testes, and can lead to severe disabilities if left untreated. Terra is the Latin name for which planet in our solar system? Earth. Terra is the Latin word for Earth, the third planet from the Sun and the only astronomical object known to harbor life. It is the densest planet in the solar system and the largest of the 4 terrestrial planets. In the Bible, conquest, war, famine, and death symbolize the 4 what? Horsemen of the Apocalypse. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are described in the book of Revelation in the New Testament of the Christian Bible. They are symbolic figures that represent various forms of divine judgment or tribulation that will precede the second coming of Christ. Which novel by Robert Louis Stevenson was originally published under the title, The Sea Cook? Treasure Island. Treasure Island is a classic adventure novel by Scottish author Robert Louis Stevenson, first serialized in a children's magazine from 1881 to 1882 under the title, The Sea Cook. It is a quintessential tale of pirates, buried treasure, and swashbuckling adventure, significantly influencing popular perceptions of these themes. According to the Bible, how many children did Adam and Eve have together? 3. According to the book of Genesis in the Bible, Adam and Eve are explicitly named as having 3 sons, Cain, Abel, and Seth. The text also mentions that they had other sons and daughters after Seth's birth, though these are not individually named. Southdown is a breed of which animal? Sheep. The Southdown is a breed of domestic sheep originating in the South Downs of Sussex, England. It is one of the oldest sheep breeds, primarily known for its excellent meat quality and fine wool, contributing significantly to the global sheep farming industry. Transylvania is in which European country? Romania. Transylvania is a historical region located in the central part of present-day Romania. It is renowned for its scenic Carpathian mountains, medieval towns, and rich folklore, particularly its association with the legend of Dracula. Sauv wine is produced in which country? Italy. Sauv is a renowned dry white wine produced in the Veneto region of northeastern Italy, primarily around the city of Verona. Made predominantly from the Garganega grape, it is celebrated for its crisp, elegant character and floral, almond, or mineral notes. Hen Vlad Free Nahadao is the national anthem of which European country? Wales. The Welsh national anthem, Hen Vlad Free Nahadao, Old Land of My Fathers, was written in 1856 by Ewan James and set to music by James James. It is a significant cultural symbol of Wales, performed at various national and international events. Which English composer conducted the London Symphony Orchestra at the 1931 opening of the Abbey Road Studios in London? Edward Elgar. Sir Edward Elgar, a renowned English composer, conducted the London Symphony Orchestra at the official opening of EMI Recording Studios, later known as Abbey Road Studios, in 1931. This event marked the beginning of a legendary era for the iconic recording facility. Who became US President Barack Obama's vice president in 2008? Joe Biden. Joe Biden served as the 47th Vice President of the United States under President Barack Obama from 2009 to 2017. He later went on to be elected the 46th President of the United States in 2020. Lake Havasu City is in which US state? Arizona. Lake Havasu City is located in Mojave County, Arizona, on the Colorado River. It is famously known as the home of the relocated original London Bridge, which was purchased and reassembled there in 1971. What is the title of the work by artist Damien Hirst in which a sheep is suspended in a tank of formaldehyde? Away from the Flock. Away from the Flock is a 1994 artwork by British artist Damien Hirst, part of his Natural History series. It features a lamb preserved in a tank of formaldehyde, exploring themes of life, death, and artifice within contemporary art. The Olmec and Mayan are two of the earliest recorded civilizations of which modern-day country? Mexico. The Olmec and Mayan civilizations are significant ancient cultures of Mesoamerica, primarily located in modern-day Mexico. The Olmec are considered the progenitor culture of Mesoamerica, while the Maya are renowned for their advanced writing system, art, architecture, mathematics, calendar, and astronomical systems. Who wrote the 1973 novel, The Dressmaker? Beryl Bainbridge. Beryl Bainbridge was a distinguished English novelist known for her dark humor and psychological insights. The Dressmaker, also known as The Secret Glass, is one of her critically acclaimed works, depicting the grim realities of wartime Britain. She was a 5-time nominee for the Booker Prize. Which chemical element has the symbol As? Arsenic. Arsenic is a chemical element with the symbol as an atomic number 33. It is a metalloid, often known for its toxicity, and is used in various applications including semiconductors and pesticide, though its use is restricted due to environmental and health concerns. The French resort of Biarritz lies on which body of water? Atlantic Ocean. Biarritz is an elegant seaside resort town on the southwestern coast of France. It is renowned for its beautiful beaches, surfing, and is a popular destination on the Bay of Biscay, which is an arm of the Atlantic Ocean. Who was the last Kaiser of Germany? Wilhelm II. Wilhelm II was the last German emperor, Kaiser, and King of Prussia, ruling from 1888 to 1918. His reign was marked by increasing militarism and a confrontational foreign policy, which significantly contributed to the outbreak of World War I. He abdicated following Germany's defeat in the war, marking the end of the German Empire. Drax Power Station is located in which English county? Yorkshire. Drax Power Station, situated in North Yorkshire, is one of the United Kingdom's largest power generating facilities. It has undergone a significant transformation from coal-fired generation to biomass, contributing substantially to the UK's renewable energy targets. What is the name of the gallery from which members of the public can observe proceedings in the British House of Commons? Strangers Gallery. The Strangers Gallery in the British House of Commons provides public access for observing parliamentary debates and legislative processes. This facility underscores the principle of transparency and public engagement in democratic governance. US President Ronald Reagan belonged to which political party from 1962? Republican Party. Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States, was a prominent member of the Republican Party, serving from 1981 to 1989. His presidency is noted for its conservative economic policies and a strong foreign policy stance during the Cold War. In human anatomy, exingulation refers to the trimming of what? Nails. Exingulation is a term used to describe the trimming or removal of nails. This specialized terminology is relevant in biological and medical contexts related to the integumentary system and its maintenance. Lenny Small and George Milton are the main characters in which novel by John Steinbeck? Of Mice and Men. Of Mice and Men is a renowned novella by American Nobel laureate John Steinbeck, published in 1937. It portrays the struggles and dreams of migrant workers during the Great Depression through the poignant relationship between its central characters, George Milton and Lenny Small. How many zeros are present in a US quadrillion? 15. In the short-scale number system, which is standard in the United States and many other English-speaking countries, a quadrillion is defined as 10 to the power of 15. This means it is represented by the digit 1 followed by 15 zeros. The Girl with a What is a 17th century painting by Johannes Vermeer. Pearl Earring. Girl with a Pearl Earring is a famous 17th century oil painting by Dutch Golden Age artist Johannes Vermeer. Often referred to as the Mona Lisa of the North, it is celebrated for its masterful use of light, evocative gaze, and the subject's enigmatic expression. In human behavior, rhinotelexomania is compulsive, obsessive what? Nose picking. Rhinotelexomania is the medical term used to describe the compulsive and obsessive habit of nose picking. While common, when this behavior becomes uncontrollable or causes significant physical or psychological distress, it is considered a behavioral disorder. How many avenues start from the circle of the Arc de Triomphe in Paris? 12. The Arc de Triomphe, a neoclassical monument in Paris, stands at the center of the Place Charles de Gaulle, formerly known as Place de l'Étoile. From this circular plaza, 12 grand avenues radiate outwards, creating a star-like pattern, with the most famous being the Avenue des Champs-Élysées. This iconic landmark commemorates those who fought and died for France in the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. What type of fish is a sockeye? Salmon. Sockeye salmon, Oncorhynchus nearcha, is a species of anadromous fish in the salmon family, primarily found in the northern Pacific Ocean and rivers flowing into it. It is renowned for its vibrant red flesh and is a commercially significant fish, particularly in North America. What is the eagle on the Great Seal of the US holding in its right talon? Olive branch. The Great Seal of the United States features a bald eagle, the national bird, as its central element. In its right talon, the eagle grasps an olive branch, which traditionally symbolizes peace. Conversely, its left talon holds 13 arrows, representing the original 13 states and signifying the nation's capacity for war. Who was the longest, continuously serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century? Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1979 to 1990, a continuous tenure of over 11 years. This made her the longest-serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century and the first woman to hold the office. Her policies, known as Thatcherism, significantly reshaped British politics and economy. The ruins of Troy are in which modern-day country? Turkey. The ancient city of Troy, famously known from Homer's epic poem, the Iliad, is located in present-day Turkey. Archaeological excavations at Hisarlik in Kanakkale province have identified multiple layers of settlement, corresponding to different periods of the city's existence. A septcentenary is an anniversary of how many years? 70. A septcentenary refers to an anniversary of 700 years. The prefix sept often denotes 7, as seen in words like September, originally the 7th month. Such terms are useful for understanding historical timelines and numerical prefixes. Which English author said, "Serious sport has nothing to do with fair play, it is war minus the shooting"? George Orwell. This powerful quote is attributed to George Orwell, one of the most influential English writers of the 20th century, known for 1984 and Animal Farm. It reflects his critical view on the competitive and often nationalistic aspects of organized sports, suggesting a deeper, often aggressive, underlying motivation. Historical figure Robin Hood is associated with which shade of green? Lincoln green. Robin Hood, the legendary English outlaw, is traditionally depicted wearing Lincoln green. This specific shade of green was historically associated with the dyeing industry of Lincoln, England, and was a popular color for clothing, particularly for foresters and archers, fitting the lore of the merry men. Which animal is the symbol of the U.S. Democratic Political Party? Donkey. The donkey has been the unofficial symbol of the U.S. Democratic Party since the 19th century, popularly associated with President Andrew Jackson. Political cartoonist Thomas Nast is often credited with popularizing the donkey for Democrats and the elephant for Republicans, solidifying their use in American political discourse. Maria Bicknell married which English artist in 1816? John Constable. John Constable, 1776 to 1837, was a renowned English romantic painter known for his landscape paintings of the English countryside. His marriage to Maria Bicknell in 1816, after a long courtship, was a significant event in his personal life, influencing his artistic development. Venter Belgarum was the Roman name for which Hampshire town in England? Winchester. Venter Belgarum was a significant Roman town in the province of Britannia, serving as the civitas capital of the Belgae tribe. Today, it is known as Winchester, a historic cathedral city in Hampshire, England, famous for its rich Anglo-Saxon and Norman heritage. The internet company Google is based in which US state? California. Google LLC, a subsidiary of Alphabet Inc., is headquartered in Mountain View, California, often referred to as the Googleplex. California is a global hub for technology and innovation, hosting numerous major tech companies in what is widely known as Silicon Valley. A natatorium is an indoor, what? Swimming pool. A natatorium is a building or facility specifically designed to house one or more swimming pools, often for competitive swimming, training, or public recreation. These facilities typically include climate control and spectator seating. Who wrote the 1964 book, The Corridors of Power? C.P. Snow. The Corridors of Power is a novel by English physicist and novelist C.P. Snow, published in 1964. It is part of his Strangers and Brothers series, exploring the interplay of science, government, and ethics within British society and the complexities of decision-making. What is the currency of Argentina? Peso. The official currency of Argentina is the Argentine peso, Rs, symbolized by dollar, with MN, moneda nacional, sometimes appended for clarity. Like many currencies in Latin America, it has experienced periods of significant inflation and redenomination throughout its history. Smeaton's Tower Lighthouse is in which English city? Plymouth. Smeaton's Tower is a historic lighthouse in Plymouth, England, originally built by John Smeaton in 1759 on the Eddystone Rocks. It was dismantled and rebuilt on Plymouth Hoe in the 1880s, where it now stands as a popular landmark and museum. Ingvar Kamprad founded which international home products company in 1943? IKEA. Ingvar Kamprad founded IKEA in Sweden in 1943. This multinational conglomerate is renowned for its ready-to-assemble furniture, kitchen appliances, and home accessories, becoming a global leader in home furnishing retail. In humans, medial tibial stress syndrome is the medical term for which sporting injury? Shin splints. Medial tibial stress syndrome, MTSS, commonly known as shin splints, refers to pain along the inner edge of the tibia or shin bone. It is typically an overuse injury, prevalent in runners and athletes, caused by repetitive stress on the lower leg muscles and bones. The Ring of Fire is in which ocean? Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ring of Fire is a major area in the basin of the Pacific Ocean where a large number of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions occur. This horseshoe-shaped belt is home to over 75% of the world's active and dormant volcanoes. In Greek mythology, Artemis is the twin sister of which god? Apollo. In Greek mythology, Artemis is the goddess of the hunt, wilderness, wild animals, the moon, and chastity. She is the twin sister of Apollo, who is revered as the god of music, poetry, light, healing, and archery, both being children of Zeus and Leto. Used during World War I, what is a Sopwith camel? A plane. The Sopwith Camel was a British single-seat biplane fighter aircraft introduced in 1917, widely employed by the Royal Flying Corps and Royal Air Force during World War I. Esteemed for its agility and combat effectiveness, it accounted for more enemy aircraft shot down than any other Allied fighter during the conflict. Delphinus delphis is the scientific name for which creature? Dolphin. Delphinus delphis is the scientific name for the common dolphin, a widely distributed marine mammal belonging to the family Delphinidae. These highly social cetaceans are recognized by their distinctive hourglass pattern on their sides and typically travel in large pods. What is the second largest emirate of the United Arab Emirates? Dubai. Dubai is a major global city and one of the 7 emirates constituting the United Arab Emirates. While Abu Dhabi is the largest by area and capital, Dubai is the second largest and is known for its economic diversification, tourism, and innovation. The Mariana Trench is the deepest point in which ocean? Pacific Ocean. The Mariana Trench, located in the western Pacific Ocean, is the deepest oceanic trench on Earth. Its deepest part, known as Challenger Deep, plunges to approximately 10,984 meters, 36,037 feet, below sea level, making it a critical feature in oceanography and geology. In humans, the medical condition kyphosis affects which part of the body? Spine. Kyphosis is a medical condition characterized by an excessive outward curvature of the spine, resulting in a hunched back. It can be caused by various factors, including degenerative diseases, developmental problems, or poor posture. The period in British history from 1795 to 1837 is often referred to as the what era. Regency era. The Regency era in British history spanned from 1795 to 1837, though the official Regency period refers specifically to 1811 to 1820 when George IV acted as Prince Regent. This era is notable for its distinctive styles in art, architecture, and fashion, as well as significant social and political changes. In medicine, glossitis is an inflammation of which part of the body? Tongue. Glossitis is a medical condition characterized by the inflammation of the tongue, often causing it to swell, change color, and develop a smooth surface. It can be a symptom of various underlying issues, including nutritional deficiencies, e.g., iron or B12, allergies, infections, or systemic diseases. Batrachophobia is an irrational fear of which type of creatures? Amphibians. Batrachophobia is a specific phobia characterized by an intense and irrational fear of amphibians, such as frogs, toads, and salamanders. Phobias are recognized anxiety disorders that can significantly impact an individual's quality of life. A suslick is what type of creature? Squirrel. A suslick, also known as a ground squirrel, is a type of rodent belonging to the genus Spermophilus. These small, burrowing mammals are commonly found in grasslands and steppe regions across Eurasia and North America. Astronomer Tycho Brahe was born in which European country in 1546? Denmark. Tycho Brahe, a pivotal figure in observational astronomy, was born in Scania, Denmark, now part of Sweden, in 1546. His meticulous and extensive astronomical observations, conducted without a telescope, provided crucial data that later enabled Johannes Kepler to formulate his laws of planetary motion. Which English novelist's first work of fiction was entitled, A Dinner at Poplar Walk, under the pen name Boss? Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens, one of England's most celebrated novelists, first published his work, A Dinner at Poplar Walk, in 1833. This story, published under his well-known pseudonym, Boz, later became part of his collected, Sketches by Boz, marking the initial phase of his illustrious literary career. The city of Cologne is in which European country? Germany. Cologne is a major city located in the German state of North Rhine-Westphalia, situated on the Rhine River. It is renowned for its magnificent Cologne Cathedral, Kölner Dom, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a striking example of Gothic architecture. What is a female adult squirrel called? Doe. A female adult squirrel is commonly referred to as a doe. This term is also used in zoology for the females of various other animal species, including deer, goats, and kangaroos. In the Royal Air Force, RAF, which commissioned rank is positioned between squadron leader and group captain? Wing commander. The rank structure of the Royal Air Force is hierarchical, with wing commander being a senior commissioned officer rank. It is equivalent to a lieutenant colonel in the British Army and Royal Marines, or a commander in the Royal Navy, reflecting significant leadership and command responsibilities. What is the banknote with the lowest denomination in the euro currency? 5 euros. The euro, is the official currency of 20 of the 27 member states of the European Union. The 5 euros banknote is the lowest value denomination among the euro banknotes in circulation, designed with specific security features and a common theme of classical architecture. What is the capital city of Iran? Tehran. Tehran is the bustling capital city of Iran, located in the north of the country at the foot of the Alborz mountain range. It is Iran's largest city and a major economic and cultural hub, serving as the political, administrative, and industrial center of the nation. In which royal palace was the British monarch Henry VIII born? Greenwich Palace, also known as the Palace of Placentia. Henry VIII, one of England's most famous monarchs, was born at Greenwich Palace in 1491. This royal residence, also known as the Palace of Placentia, was a significant Tudor palace located on the south bank of the River Thames, playing a crucial role in royal history before its eventual demolition. Which type of creatures typically live in a scape? Bees. A scape is a traditional type of beehive, typically made from coiled straw or wicker, used for housing honey bee colonies. These bell-shaped structures provided a rudimentary shelter for bees, allowing beekeepers to manage swarms and collect honey before modern frame hives became widespread. Necromimesis is the feigning of what? Death. Necromimesis, also known as thanatosis or tonic immobility, is a defensive behavior exhibited by various animals where they feign death to deter predators. This strategy involves becoming motionless and often emitting foul odors to mimic a decaying carcass, making them less appealing as prey. In which European city is the Brandenburg Gate? Berlin. The Brandenburg Gate is an iconic neoclassical monument in Berlin, Germany, symbolizing peace and unity. Originally a city gate, it stands as a powerful historical landmark, witnessing significant events throughout German and European history. A caduceus, a staff with two serpents twined around it, is often associated with which profession? Medical profession. The caduceus, a staff entwined with two serpents and topped with wings, is a symbol historically associated with Hermes or Mercury. While it is often mistakenly used to represent the medical profession, the correct symbol for medicine is the rod of Asclepius, which features a single serpent without wings. How many tentacles and arms altogether does a squid have? 10. Squids, belonging to the class Cephalopoda, possess a total of 10 appendages, 8 arms and 2 longer tentacles. The tentacles are typically used for capturing prey, while the arms are used for manipulating food and sensing the environment. Which mythical bird is cyclically regenerated or reborn from its own ashes? Phoenix. The phoenix is a legendary bird in Greek mythology that is said to cyclically regenerate or be reborn from the ashes of a fire. This powerful symbol of renewal, resurrection, and immortality is found in various ancient cultures and continues to be a prominent motif in literature and art. Which number is represented by 5 dots in Morse code? 5. In International Morse code, the number 5 is represented by a sequence of 5 short signals, or dots. This standardized encoding system allowed for telegraphic communication globally and is still used today in various amateur radio and specialized applications. Avenue Foch is the widest avenue in which European city? Paris. Avenue Foch is a prominent and exceptionally wide avenue located in Paris, France, connecting the Arc de Triomphe to the Bois de Boulogne. It is renowned for its grand residences and plays a significant role in Parisian urban planning and geography. In a painting, the point on the horizon, where parallel lines appear to converge, is called the what point? Vanishing point. The vanishing point is a fundamental concept in linear perspective, a technique used in art to create an illusion of depth and distance on a two-dimensional surface. It represents the point on the horizon line where parallel lines, receding into the distance, appear to converge. Meissen porcelain comes from which European country? Germany. Meissen porcelain is a renowned type of porcelain developed in Meissen, Germany, in the early 18th century. It was the first hard paste porcelain successfully produced in Europe, marking a significant milestone in ceramic art and industry. In which year did the Silver Jubilee of British monarch Queen Elizabeth II take place? 1977. Queen Elizabeth II's Silver Jubilee, celebrating 25 years of her reign, took place in 1977. This event was marked by extensive celebrations across the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth, reflecting her long and influential tenure as monarch. During which month does the summer solstice occur in the southern hemisphere? December. The summer solstice in the southern hemisphere occurs around December 21st or 22nd, marking the longest day of the year and the official beginning of summer. At this time, the Earth's southern pole is tilted closest to the sun, resulting in maximum daylight hours for the hemisphere. What is the main metal in pewter? Tin. Pewter is an alloy consisting primarily of tin, often combined with copper, antimony, bismuth, or silver. Historically, lead was also a component, but it has been largely removed due to toxicity concerns. It is valued for its malleability and relatively low melting point. Which is the oldest British royal residence still in regular use? Windsor Castle. Windsor Castle, founded by William the Conqueror in the 11th century, holds the distinction of being the longest occupied palace in Europe. It remains an active royal residence, a venue for state functions, and a significant historical and tourist landmark. Alberto Fujimori became the president of which South American country in 1990? Peru. Alberto Fujimori served as the president of Peru from 1990 to 2000. His tenure was marked by significant economic reforms and a strong stance against terrorism, alongside controversial authoritarian measures, human rights abuses, and corruption. Which is said to be the oldest book in the Bible? Job. The Book of Job is widely considered by many scholars to be one of the oldest books in the Bible, potentially originating from the patriarchal period. It profoundly explores themes of suffering, divine justice, and human resilience in the face of adversity. Ichthyophobia is the irrational fear of which creatures? Fish. Ichthyophobia refers to an intense and irrational fear of fish. Like other specific phobias, it can trigger significant anxiety, panic attacks, and avoidance behaviors in affected individuals when encountering fish or even representations of them. In 1720, what major financial crisis in England caused widespread economic loss? The South Sea Bubble. The South Sea Bubble was a speculative economic bubble in Great Britain in 1720, involving the South Sea Company. Its collapse caused significant financial losses and led to the ruin of many investors, profoundly impacting the British economy and public trust in financial schemes. What iconic statue, a gift from France to the United States, is known as the largest hammered copper statue in the world? Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty, located in New York Harbor, is a colossal neoclassical sculpture given to the United States by France. It is indeed the world's largest hammered copper statue, symbolizing freedom and democracy, and was dedicated on October 28, 1886. Mount Jungfrau, a prominent peak in the Bernese Alps, is located in which European country? Switzerland. The Jungfrau is one of the main summits in the Bernese Alps, located in Switzerland. It is part of the Jungfrau Aletsch Protected Area, a UNESCO World Heritage Site renowned for its dramatic landscapes and glaciated terrain. What is the official capital city of the Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire? Yamoussoukro. Yamoussoukro is the official capital of Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast, though Abidjan remains the economic and administrative center. The transfer of the capital was initiated in 1983 by President Félix Houphouët-Boigny, his birthplace. The renowned Kruger National Park, famous for its wildlife and conservation efforts, is located in which country? South Africa. Kruger National Park is one of Africa's largest and most famous wildlife reserves, situated in northeastern South Africa. It is celebrated for its exceptional biodiversity, particularly its Big Five, lion, leopard, elephant, rhino, and buffalo, and plays a crucial role in wildlife conservation and ecotourism. In which European city is Richmond Bridge? London. Richmond Bridge is a historic stone arch bridge spanning the River Thames in Richmond, London. Completed in 1777, it is one of the oldest surviving bridges over the non-tidal Thames and a prominent local landmark. In human anatomy, a bucula is a double what? Chin. A bucula, in human anatomy, refers to a double chin, characterized by a layer of subcutaneous fat accumulating beneath the chin. This condition can be influenced by factors such as genetics, aging, and weight. The town of Nokia is in which European country? Finland. The town of Nokia is situated in the Pirkanmaa region of Finland. It gained global recognition as the birthplace of the Nokia Corporation, initially a pulp mill established in 1865, which later diversified into rubber products and eventually telecommunications. In which capital city did the Joseon dynasty construct its 5 grand palaces? Seoul. The Joseon dynasty, which ruled Korea for over 500 years, established Seoul, then Hanyang, as its capital. The 5 grand palaces, Gyeongbokgung, Changdeokgung, Changgyeongbang, Doksugang, and Gyeonghigang, served as royal residences and administrative centers, embodying the dynasty's architectural and cultural legacy. Sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia is the medical term for which type of pain associated with rapid eating or drinking of cold substances? Brain freeze, ice cream headache. Sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia, commonly known as brain freeze or ice cream headache, is a brief, intense headache caused by the rapid chilling and warming of blood vessels in the palate and throat. This rapid temperature change is thought to stimulate nerves, leading to referred pain in the head. Which constituent country of the United Kingdom did Queen Elizabeth II visit on her first official tour following her coronation? Northern Ireland. Following her coronation in June 1953, Queen Elizabeth II embarked on a series of official tours. Her first visit to a UK country was to Northern Ireland, a significant symbolic gesture emphasizing unity across the United Kingdom in the early years of her reign. White and which other color constitute the national flag of Poland? Red. The national flag of Poland consists of 2 horizontal stripes of equal width, the upper one white and the lower one red. These colors are derived from the national coats of arms of Poland and Lithuania and have been historically associated with the Polish state for centuries, officially adopted in 1919. The French Opera House was opened in 1859 in which U.S. city? New Orleans. The French Opera House, opened in 1859 in New Orleans, was a renowned cultural landmark and social hub. It played a significant role in the city's artistic scene, hosting numerous opera performances until its destruction by fire in 1919. In medicine, a sialogogue is a drug that promotes the secretion of what? Saliva. A sialogogue is a pharmaceutical agent specifically designed to stimulate the production and secretion of saliva. These drugs are often used to treat xerostomia, commonly known as dry mouth, which can be a side effect of various medications or medical conditions. What is the U.S. state capital of Minnesota? St. Paul. St. Paul is the capital city of Minnesota, located on the Mississippi River and forming part of the Twin Cities metropolitan area with Minneapolis. It is known for its distinctive neighborhoods, historical architecture, and cultural institutions like the Science Museum of Minnesota. How many red stripes are on the American national flag? 7. The American national flag, often called the Stars and Stripes, features a total of 13 horizontal stripes, alternating red and white. Out of these, 7 stripes are red, and 6 are white, representing the original 13 colonies. Where is the Trafford Centre located in England? Manchester. The Trafford Centre is a significant shopping and leisure complex situated in Greater Manchester, England. It is renowned for its considerable size, distinct architectural style, and wide array of retail, dining, and entertainment offerings. What is the name of the blood-sucking worm sometimes employed in medical practices? Leech. Leeches are segmented worms primarily inhabiting freshwater environments, known for their ability to consume blood. In historical and contemporary medicine, sterile leeches are occasionally utilized to enhance blood circulation, particularly after reconstructive microsurgery, owing to the anticoagulants present in their saliva. Which country possesses the highest number of time zones? Russia. Russia encompasses 11 distinct time zones, making it the nation with the most official time zones globally. This extensive system is a direct consequence of its vast geographical spread from Eastern Europe across North Asia. Which vitamin is known to prevent night blindness? Vitamin A. Vitamin A, also known as retinol, is a fat-soluble vitamin crucial for vision, immune function, and cell growth. Its deficiency is a leading cause of preventable blindness worldwide, particularly night blindness. The peptide hormone renin is secreted by which organ of the body? Kidney. Renin is an enzyme and peptide hormone produced by the juxtaglomerular cells in the kidneys. It plays a critical role in the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, RAS, which regulates blood pressure, fluid balance, and electrolyte homeostasis in the body. How many states make up Germany? 16. Germany is a federal parliamentary republic comprising 16 constituent states, known as Bundesländer. Each state has its own constitution, government, and parliament, maintaining significant autonomy in certain policy areas. In which year was the storming of the Bastille in Paris? 1789. The storming of the Bastille occurred on July 14, 1789, in Paris, France. This pivotal event marked the beginning of the French Revolution, symbolizing the end of the ancient regime and the start of a revolutionary period. Who became British Prime Minister in April 1976? James Callaghan. James Callaghan, a prominent Labour Party politician, served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1976 to 1979. He is unique in British political history for having held all 4 major offices of state: Prime Minister, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Home Secretary, and Foreign Secretary. Elizabeth Woodville was the wife of which English monarch? King Edward IV. Elizabeth Woodville was Queen Consort of England as the wife of King Edward IV from 1464 until his death in 1483. Her marriage was controversial due to her non-noble birth and played a significant role in the dynastic conflicts of the Wars of the Roses. Xanthophobia is the irrational fear of which color? Yellow. Xanthophobia is a specific phobia characterized by an intense and irrational fear of the color yellow. Like other specific phobias, it can cause significant distress and anxiety when the individual encounters the feared object or situation. Who wrote the poem, The Ballad of Reading Gaol? Oscar Wilde. The Ballad of Reading Gaol is a long poem written by Oscar Wilde during his imprisonment at Reading Gaol. Published in 1898, it reflects on the harsh conditions of Victorian penal life and the profound psychological impact of incarceration. Which British industrialist was the maternal grandfather of naturalist Charles Darwin? Hosea Wedgwood. Hosea Wedgwood was a prominent English potter and industrialist, known for founding the Wedgwood Company. He was also the maternal grandfather of Charles Darwin, linking one of Britain's industrial giants to one of its most influential scientists. Ancient Greek statesman Demosthenes used to practice his speaking, to cure his speech impediment, by placing what in his mouth? Pebbles. Demosthenes was a prominent Greek statesman and orator of ancient Athens. To overcome a speech impediment, he famously practiced speaking with pebbles in his mouth and declaiming by the seashore, transforming himself into one of the most eloquent speakers of antiquity. Which circle of latitude divides the Earth's southern and northern hemispheres? The equator. The equator is an imaginary line of latitude that circles the Earth at 0 degrees latitude, equidistant from the north and south poles. It divides the planet into the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, defining a fundamental geographic reference. In which European country is Lake Päälinen? Finland. Lake Päälinen is the fourth largest lake in Finland, located in the North Karelia region. It is a significant natural landmark, forming part of a larger lake system in the Finnish Lakeland area and contributing to the country's extensive network of inland waters. Gramen is the Latin name for which plant? Grass. Gramen is the Latin word for grass, which is a common term used in botanical classification, most notably for the plant family Poaceae, formerly Gramineae. Understanding Latin nomenclature is crucial in biological sciences for precise and universally recognized identification of species. In Britain, who is traditionally first to make a speech at a wedding? Bride's father. In traditional British wedding etiquette, the bride's father is customarily the first to deliver a speech. This address typically includes welcoming guests, expressing gratitude for their attendance, and often sharing personal anecdotes about the bride before toasting the newly married couple. Goodwood Racecourse is in which English county? West Sussex. Goodwood Racecourse is a prestigious horse racing track situated near Chichester in West Sussex, England. It is particularly renowned for hosting the Glorious Goodwood Festival, a prominent 5-day racing event held annually in late July or early August, alongside other significant motorsport events. What is the name of the Italian liqueur made from alcohol, sugar, water and rose essence? Rosolio. Rosolio is a traditional Italian liqueur characterized by its sweet, floral profile, primarily derived from rose petals or rose essence. Historically, it was a popular cordial enjoyed in European courts and continues to be produced as a sophisticated digestive or an ingredient in cocktails. The Senior Service is the nickname for which of the British Armed Forces? Royal Navy. The Royal Navy is historically known as the Senior Service, due to its long-standing operational precedence and its foundational role in Britain's military history. Dating back centuries, it was for a long period the most vital branch, instrumental in establishing and defending the British Empire. Which publisher of children's books is named after an insect? Ladybird. Ladybird Books is a prominent British publishing house specializing in children's literature, founded in 1915. Its distinctive name is inspired by the ladybird beetle, and the publisher is widely recognized for its extensive series of educational and classic storybooks designed for young readers. The poem, Funeral Blues, by W. H. Auden is popularly known by what name? Stop All the Clocks. W. H. Auden's Funeral Blues is a famous poem from his collection Another Time, 1940, also featured prominently in the film Four Weddings and a Funeral. Its opening lines, "Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone," give it its popular alternative title. In the novel, Oliver Twist, by Charles Dickens, what is the Artful Dodger's real name? Jack Dawkins. Jack Dawkins, known as the Artful Dodger, is a prominent character in Charles Dickens's novel Oliver Twist. He is a skilled pickpocket and leader of a gang of juvenile delinquents trained by the villain Fagin. The same is the lower house of parliament in which European country? Poland. The same is the lower house of the Polish parliament, responsible for legislative functions. It is one of the two chambers, with the Senate being the upper house. Doge's Palace is in which European city? Venice. The Doge's Palace is a historic palace located in Venice, Italy, serving as the residence of the Doge of Venice for centuries. It is a masterpiece of Gothic architecture and a major landmark of the city. Bülent Ecevit was Prime Minister of which country from 1999 to 2002? Turkey. Bülent Ecevit was a prominent Turkish politician, serving as Prime Minister of Turkey multiple times, including the period from 1999 to 2002. He was known for his social democratic policies and his role in Turkish politics during the late 20th century. In anatomy, malar relates to which part of the body? Cheek, cheekbone. In human anatomy, malar refers to structures pertaining to the cheek or cheekbone. The malar bone is another term for the zygomatic bone, which forms the prominence of the cheek. In which Australian state is the seaport of Bunbury? Western Australia. Bunbury is a significant regional city and port located in Western Australia, approximately 175 kilometers south of the state capital, Perth. It serves as a major hub for the southwest region, primarily involved in the export of wood chips, alumina, and mineral sands. The Upper Pool, part of the Pool of London, lies between which two bridges? London Bridge and Tower Bridge. The Pool of London refers to a stretch of the River Thames below London Bridge. The Upper Pool specifically denotes the section between London Bridge and Tower Bridge, historically a vital area for shipping and commerce in the city. Which drink originated from the Arabic word, kawa? Coffee. The word, coffee, is derived from the Arabic term, kawa, which originally referred to a type of wine. It later came to denote the beverage made from roasted coffee beans, spreading from the Arabian Peninsula to the rest of the world. What was poet Percy Shelley's middle name? Bysshe. Percy Bysshe Shelley was a prominent English Romantic poet, renowned for his lyrical and philosophical verse. He is considered one of the greatest lyric poets in the English language and a key figure in the second generation of Romantic poets. In the fashion industry, what does prêt-à-porter mean? Ready to wear. Prêt-à-porter is a French term meaning ready to wear. In the fashion industry, it refers to factory-made clothing, sold in finished condition and standard sizes, as opposed to custom-made haute couture. The Tatra Mountains are the highest range in which mountain system? Carpathian Mountains. The Tatra Mountains are the highest part of the Carpathian Mountains, forming a natural border between Slovakia and Poland. This sub-range is known for its alpine landscape, diverse wildlife, and popular tourist destinations. Who wrote the 1984 novel, The Witches of Eastwick? John Updike. The Witches of Eastwick is a 1984 novel by American author John Updike, a prominent figure in 20th century literature. The book explores themes of desire, magic, and suburban life, and was later adapted into a successful film. What does He represent in the periodic table? Helium. He is the chemical symbol for helium, the second lightest element on the periodic table with atomic number 2. It is a noble gas, known for its inertness, and is widely used in applications like cryogenics, MRI scanners, and inflating balloons. In the Jewish calendar, what is the 11th month of the religious year called? Shevat, or Shwa. Shevat is the 11th month of the Jewish civil year and the 5th month of the ecclesiastical year. It typically falls in late January or early February in the Gregorian calendar. A significant holiday observed during Shevat is Tu B'Shvat, often referred to as the New Year for trees. The Jod family are characters in which 1939 novel by John Steinbeck? The Grapes of Wrath. The Jod family are the central characters in John Steinbeck's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, The Grapes of Wrath, published in 1939. The novel vividly portrays the struggles and migration of an impoverished Oklahoma family during the Great Depression's Dust Bowl era, seeking a better life in California. How many months of the year have 31 days? 7. In the Gregorian calendar, there are 7 months that have 31 days. These months are January, March, May, July, August, October, and December. The remaining months have 30 days, except for February, which has 28 days, or 29 in a leap year. The 10 Commandments appear in which book of the Bible? Exodus. The 10 Commandments, a set of biblical principles central to Abrahamic religions, are primarily found in the book of Exodus, chapter 20, of the Old Testament. These divine laws were given by God to Moses on Mount Sinai, providing fundamental moral and religious guidelines for the Israelites. The Gors National Park is in which European country? Poland. The Gors National Park, Gochanski Park Narodowy, is situated in southern Poland, within the Gors Mountains range of the Western Beskids. Established in 1981, it protects diverse ecosystems, including extensive beech and fir forests, and is home to various wildlife such as deer, wolves, and lynx. Jueves is Spanish for which day of the week? Thursday. Jueves is the Spanish word for Thursday. Its etymology, like the names for Thursday in other Romance languages, derives from the Latin, dies Iovus, meaning, day of Jupiter, reflecting the influence of Roman mythology on the naming of weekdays. Fanny Blankers-Koen was the first woman to win how many gold medals in a single Olympic Games in 1948? 4. Fanny Blankers-Koen, a Dutch athlete, made history at the 1948 London Olympics by becoming the first woman to win 4 gold medals in a single Olympic Games. Known as the Flying Housewife, she triumphed in the 100 meters, 200 meters, 80 meters hurdles, and the 4x100 meters relay, a remarkable achievement at age 30 and as a mother of 2. Violinist Yehudi Menuhin was born in which city? New York. Yehudi Menuhin, one of the most distinguished violinists and conductors of the 20th century, was born in New York City in 1916. A child prodigy, he began his career at a very young age and became globally renowned for his exceptional musical talent and profound humanitarian contributions. The islands of Jura, Sande, Chapinzé, and Balta belong to which European country? Scotland. These islands are part of Scotland, a country within the United Kingdom. Jura is known for its whisky, while Sandé, Chapinzay, and Balta are among the numerous islands in the Scottish archipelagos like the Orkney and Shetland Islands, highlighting Scotland's extensive island geography. Which US president had children named Tricia and Julie? Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon, the 37th President of the United States, had two daughters, Tricia and Julie. Tricia Nixon Cox and Julie Nixon Eisenhower were prominent figures during their father's presidency, particularly during his campaigns and time in the White House. Stargazy pie originated in which English county? Cornwall. Stargazy pie is a traditional Cornish dish, originating from the village of Mousehole in Cornwall, England. It is famously characterized by whole pilchards, or other fish, baked into the pie, with their heads protruding through the pastry, appearing to gaze at the stars. What is the longest side of a right-angled triangle called? Hypotenuse. In a right-angled triangle, the hypotenuse is the side opposite the right angle, 90 degrees. It is always the longest side of the triangle, a fundamental concept in Euclidean geometry and the Pythagorean theorem. Prosciutto is what type of foodstuff? Ham. Prosciutto is an Italian dry cured ham that is typically thinly sliced and served uncooked, prosciutto crudo. It is a well-known culinary product globally, distinguished by its delicate flavor and texture, often used in appetizers and charcuterie boards. What was the name of the submersible in which film director James Cameron made a solo descent to the deepest place in the Pacific Ocean in March 2012? Deep Sea Challenger. In March 2012, James Cameron piloted the Deep Sea Challenger submersible to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest known point on Earth. This historic solo dive reached the Challenger deep, a significant achievement in deep-sea exploration and engineering. What is the minimum legal drinking age for alcohol in bars in Iceland? 20 years. In Iceland, the minimum legal age for purchasing and consuming alcoholic beverages in licensed establishments like bars is 20 years old. This age requirement is one of the highest in Europe, reflecting strict alcohol regulations in the country. Black sigatoka is a leaf spot disease affecting which fruit plant? Banana. Black sigatoka is a devastating fungal leaf spot disease of bananas, caused by the fungus *Mycosphaerella fijiensis. It significantly reduces photosynthetic capacity, leading to premature fruit ripening and yield losses, posing a major threat to global banana production. English artist Ben Nicholson married which British sculptor in 1938? Barbara Hepworth. Barbara Hepworth, 1903 to 1975, was a prominent British sculptor, known for her modernist abstract works. She was a key figure in the development of modern sculpture and married fellow artist Ben Nicholson in 1938, significantly contributing to the artistic landscape of the 20th century. Halifax is the capital of which Canadian province? Nova Scotia. Halifax is the provincial capital of Nova Scotia, Canada. Located on the Atlantic coast, it is a major port city and a significant economic and cultural hub in Atlantic Canada. Hamida Jandoubi was the last person in France to be executed by what method, in September 1977? Guillotine. Hamida Jandoubi was the last person executed by guillotine in France on September 10, 1977. This event marked the final instance of a method of capital punishment that had been in use in France since the French Revolution, preceding the eventual abolition of the death penalty in 1981. What were the first names of Scottish author A. J. Cronin? Archibald Joseph. A. J. Cronin, 1896–1981, whose full name was Archibald Joseph Cronin, was a distinguished Scottish physician and novelist. He is renowned for his realistic novels exploring social issues and the medical profession, including The Citadel and The Keys of the Kingdom. What type of weather condition was known as a London particular? Fog. A London particular was a historical term used to describe the dense, often smoggy fogs that frequently enveloped London, particularly during the industrial era. These fogs were caused by a combination of atmospheric conditions and air pollution, leading to poor visibility and health issues, famously depicted in literature. Which two words are inscribed on the Victoria Cross? For valor. The Victoria Cross is the highest military decoration awarded for gallantry, in the presence of the enemy, to members of the armed forces in various Commonwealth countries. The words, for valor, are inscribed on the front of the medal, signifying the exceptional bravery it recognizes. Which two cities did the Orient Express originally travel between? Paris and Istanbul. The Orient Express was a long-distance passenger train service that began in 1883, famed for its luxury and iconic status. Its original and most famous route connected Paris, France, to Istanbul, then Constantinople, Ottoman Empire, traversing several European countries and becoming a symbol of European travel and intrigue. Delft pottery originates from which European country? Netherlands. Delftware, or Delft pottery, is a distinctive type of blue and white pottery primarily produced in Delft, Netherlands. It rose to prominence in the 17th century, often mimicking the style of Chinese porcelain but with unique Dutch designs. Which American author was awarded the 1953 Pulitzer Prize for fiction for his novel, The Old Man and the Sea? Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea is a celebrated novella that tells the story of an aging Cuban fisherman's struggle with a giant marlin. The novel earned him the Pulitzer Prize in 1953 and was a significant factor in his Nobel Prize in Literature win the following year. Austrian monk Gregor Mendel discovered the laws of which scientific field? Heredity. Gregor Mendel, often recognized as the father of modern genetics, conducted pivotal experiments on pea plants in the mid-19th century. His work elucidated the fundamental principles of heredity, explaining how traits are passed from one generation to the next. The leaf of which plant is said to relieve nettle stings? Dock. Dock leaves are a traditional folk remedy used to alleviate the sting from nettles. The sap within the dock leaf is thought to neutralize the formic acid present in nettle stings, providing a soothing effect. If something is napiform, it's shaped like which vegetable? Turnip. Napiform is a botanical term used to describe a shape that is broad at the top and tapers sharply downwards, resembling a turnip. This term is often applied to characterize the morphology of certain root structures in plants. What was the first name of Labour politician Keir Hardie Sr.? James. James Keir Hardie was a Scottish trade unionist and politician, renowned as one of the principal founders of the Labour Party. He played a pivotal role in the early development of the party, serving as its first parliamentary leader from 1906 to 1908. Accubation is the practice of eating and drinking while doing what? Lying down, reclining. Accubation refers to the ancient Roman and Greek practice of dining while reclining on couches or sofas. This social custom was prevalent among the elite and symbolized a distinctive aspect of their lifestyle and dining etiquette. On which island is Ronaldsway Airport? Isle of Man. Ronaldsway Airport, IATA, IOM, is the primary civil airport serving the Isle of Man, a self-governing British Crown dependency situated in the Irish Sea. It functions as the crucial aerial gateway for the island's residents and visitors. Musician and composer Ravi Shankar was associated with which musical instrument? Sitar. Pandit Ravi Shankar was a legendary Indian sitarist and composer, widely acknowledged for his profound contributions to Indian classical music. He played a crucial role in popularizing Indian classical music globally, often collaborating with Western musicians. Buffonophobia is the fear of which creatures? Toads. Buffonophobia is the specific phobia characterized by an intense and irrational fear of toads. Individuals suffering from buffonophobia may experience significant anxiety or panic when exposed to toads, or even when thinking about them. The Port of Dover is in which English county? Kent. The Port of Dover, located in Kent, England, is one of the busiest ferry ports in Europe. It serves as a major gateway for trade and passenger travel between the UK and continental Europe, particularly France. During which month of the year is Hogmanay celebrated? December. Hogmanay is the Scottish celebration of New Year's Eve, taking place on December 31st Street. It is traditionally observed with various customs and festivities, making it one of Scotland's most significant cultural events. Which sign of the zodiac is represented by the fish? Pisces. Pisces is the 12th and final astrological sign in the zodiac, generally associated with individuals born between February 19th and March 20th. It is traditionally represented by two fish swimming in opposite directions, symbolizing duality and emotional depth. In Greek mythology, who is the messenger god? Hermes. Hermes is the Olympian god of boundaries, travel, trade, thievery, sports, athletes, and messenger of the gods in Greek mythology. He is often depicted with winged sandals and a caduceus, enabling him to move swiftly between the mortal and divine realms. How many letters are on the bottom row of a QWERTY keyboard? 7. The bottom letter row of a standard QWERTY keyboard contains 7 letters: Z, X, C, V, B, N, and M. The QWERTY layout was designed in the 1870s for typewriters and remains the most common keyboard arrangement today. Which US city is known as the Windy City? Chicago. Chicago is popularly known as the Windy City, a nickname often attributed to the city's strong breezes from Lake Michigan, as well as its historical reputation for boisterous politicians. This moniker dates back to the late 19th century. The aurora australis is also known by what name? Southern Lights. The aurora australis, also known as the Southern Lights, is a natural light display in the Earth's sky, predominantly seen in high-latitude regions around the Antarctic. It is caused by the collision of energetic charged particles with atoms in the high-altitude atmosphere. The disease rickets is caused by the lack of which vitamin? Vitamin D. Rickets is a condition that affects bone development in children, leading to soft, weak, and deformed bones. It is primarily caused by a severe and prolonged deficiency of vitamin D, which is essential for the absorption of calcium and phosphate in the body. What is the capital of Ecuador? Quito. Quito is the capital city of Ecuador, located in the Andes Mountains at an elevation of 2,850 meters, 9,350 feet. It is renowned for its well-preserved colonial center, which was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1978. An ortolan is what type of creature? Bird. An ortolan is a small passerine bird, belonging to the bunting family, Embaizidae. Historically, it has been a controversial delicacy in French cuisine, known for its distinctive song. Carl XVI Gustav became king of which European country in September 1973? Sweden. Carl XVI Gustav ascended to the Swedish throne on September 15, 1973, following the death of his grandfather, King Gustav VI Adolf. He is the current monarch of Sweden and belongs to the House of Bernadotte. Which novel by A.J. Cronin is credited with laying down the foundation in Great Britain for the introduction of the National Health Service? The Citadel. A.J. Cronin's 1937 novel, The Citadel, vividly depicted the struggles within the British healthcare system and the socio-economic disparities in medical treatment. Its powerful narrative is widely acknowledged to have significantly influenced public opinion and contributed to the political momentum for the establishment of the National Health Service, NHS, in the UK in 1948. In which English city is Temple Meads railway station? Bristol. Bristol Temple Meads is the oldest and largest railway station in Bristol, England. Designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel, the original station opened in 1840 as the western terminus of the Great Western Railway. Today, it remains a major transport hub in the southwest of England. What is the official language of Liberia? English. English is the official language of Liberia, a West African nation. This is largely due to its historical ties as a settlement for freed American slaves, who brought American English and cultural influences with them, establishing the Republic in 1847. In 1966, which African American Revolutionary Socialist organization was founded in California by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale? Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party was a revolutionary socialist organization founded by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale in October 1966 in Oakland, California. Initially established to monitor police brutality and protect African American communities, it evolved into a broader political organization advocating for civil rights, self-defense, and social justice. According to Greek mythology, who opened a jar out of curiosity and let out all the evils of humanity? Pandora. Pandora's box is a prominent etiological myth in ancient Greek mythology. Given to Pandora by Zeus, the jar, often mistranslated as a box, contained all the evils of the world, which were released when she opened it out of curiosity, leaving only hope inside. Io, Europa, Ganymede and Callisto are all moons of which planet in our solar system? Jupiter. These four celestial bodies are the largest moons of Jupiter, known as the Galilean moons, named after Galileo Galilei who discovered them in 1610. They are significant for their diverse geological features and their role in understanding planetary formation. Which controversial Indian-born author won the 1981 Man Booker Prize? Salman Rushdie. Salman Rushdie is a celebrated British Indian novelist known for his magical realism and exploration of post-colonial themes. He won the 1981 Booker Prize for his novel, Midnight's Children, which masterfully intertwines historical events with fictional narrative. Elapidi naja is the scientific name for which snake? Cobra. Nair is a genus of highly venomous elapid snakes found in Africa and Asia, commonly known as cobras. They are easily recognizable by their ability to raise the front part of their body and flatten their neck ribs to form a distinctive hood when threatened. The kyat is the basic monetary unit of which country? Burma, Myanmar. The kyat is the official currency of Myanmar, formerly known as Burma. Knowledge of national currencies and their associated countries is a fundamental aspect of general awareness, often tested in geography or economy sections of competitive exams. If an object is sheridized, what is it coated with? Zinc. Sheridizing is a metallurgical process of galvanizing where a thin layer of zinc is applied to the surface of ferrous materials. This diffusion process enhances corrosion resistance, making it valuable in various industrial applications. A romaine is what variety of foodstuff? Lettuce. Romaine lettuce, also known as cause lettuce, is a popular variety characterized by its long, upright leaves and crisp texture. It is widely used in salads, notably the Caesar salad, and contributes to a healthy diet. In animals, an onychectomy is the removal of which part of the body? Claws. An onychectomy is a surgical procedure involving the removal of an animal's claws, commonly referred to as declawing. This procedure, often performed on domestic cats, is a subject of ethical debate among veterinary professionals and animal welfare advocates. Which novel by Charles Dickens followed Nicholas Nickleby? The Old Curiosity Shop. Charles Dickens's The Old Curiosity Shop was published between 1840 and 1841, directly following his serial novel, Nicholas Nickleby, 1838 to 1839. This highlights the prolific writing period of Dickens and the chronological order of his significant literary works. A pediatric doctor specializes in treating which patient group? Children. Pediatrics is the medical specialty dedicated to the health and medical care of infants, children, and adolescents. Pediatric doctors, or pediatricians, address the unique developmental, physiological, and psychological needs of young patients. Which ancient Greek is known as the father of medicine? Hippocrates. Hippocrates was an ancient Greek physician of the classical period, widely regarded as the father of medicine. His contributions revolutionized ancient Greek medicine, establishing it as a distinct discipline and emphasizing observation, diagnosis, and ethical practices. He is famously associated with the Hippocratic Oath. In 1975, Junko Tabe became the first woman to reach the summit of which mountain? Mount Everest. Junko Tabe was a Japanese mountaineer who, in 1975, became the first woman to successfully reach the summit of Mount Everest, the world's highest peak. Her pioneering achievement marked a significant milestone in mountaineering history and inspired many women globally. Neosology is the study of which young creatures? Birds. Neosology is a specialized field within ornithology that focuses on the scientific study of nestling birds. This area of research encompasses various aspects, including the development, behavior, and ecological interactions of birds from their hatching until they fledge or leave the nest. What were the first names of 19th century circus fairground owner P.T. Barnum? Phineas Taylor. P.T. Barnum, whose full name was Phineas Taylor Barnum, was a prominent American showman, businessman, and politician of the 19th century. He is best known for his large-scale hoaxes, the development of the American circus, and his famous Barnum and Bailey circus. If a bone is navicular, it is shaped like what? A boat. In human anatomy, the term navicular describes a bone shaped like a small boat, derived from the Latin word navicula. There are two such bones, the navicular bone in the foot, which is one of the tarsal bones, and the navicular bone in the wrist, also known as the scaphoid bone. Which 2 months have equinoxes? March and September. Equinoxes occur twice a year, typically around March 20th, vernal or spring equinox, and September 22nd, autumnal equinox. On these dates, the sun crosses the celestial equator, resulting in approximately equal hours of daylight and darkness across most parts of the earth. Port Said stands on which canal? Suez Canal. Port Said is a city situated at the northern entrance of the Suez Canal in Egypt, directly on the Mediterranean Sea. This strategic location makes it a crucial port and gateway for international shipping and trade through the vital Suez Canal waterway. What color light indicates the starboard side of a boat? Green. Starboard refers to the right side of a vessel when facing forward. International maritime navigation rules stipulate that a green light is displayed on the starboard side, while a red light is displayed on the port side, essential for collision avoidance at night. The world's longest fence is in which country? Australia. Australia is home to the dingo fence, also known as the dog fence, which is recognized as the world's longest fence. Spanning over 5,600 kilometers, its primary function is to protect sheep flocks in southern Queensland from dingoes. What is the capital of Jordan? Amman. Amman is the capital and largest city of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. It serves as the country's economic, political, and cultural hub, with a rich history dating back millennia. The Starry Night is a painting by Dutch artist Vincent van Gogh. Night. The Starry Night is an iconic oil-on-canvas painting by Dutch post-impressionist painter Vincent van Gogh. Created in June 1889, it depicts the view from his asylum room's window, showcasing his unique style and emotional intensity. Which British charity has the slogan, "Refusing to ignore people in crisis"? British Red Cross. The British Red Cross is a prominent humanitarian charity and the United Kingdom's branch of the Global Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. It provides vital assistance to people in crisis both domestically and internationally, focusing on emergency response, first aid, and humanitarian support. What is the capital of the Italian region Piedmont? Turin. Turin, Italian, Torino, is a major city in northern Italy and the capital city of the Piedmont region. It holds historical significance as the first capital of unified Italy from 1861 to 1865, renowned for its exquisite architecture, culture, and cuisine. A daikon is what type of vegetable? Radish. Daikon is a mild-flavored winter radish, typically characterized by its large, white, and elongated root. It is a staple ingredient in various East Asian cuisines, often consumed raw, cooked, or pickled. What does the Latin phrase, "sici secos decens" translate to in English? Blind are led by the blind. The Latin phrase, "sici secos decens" translates to, blind are led by the blind. This ancient proverb, found in various religious and philosophical texts, signifies a perilous situation where incompetent or ignorant leaders guide equally uninformed followers, often leading to inevitable failure or misfortune. In medicine, dysuria refers to pain or difficulty in doing what? Urinating. Dysuria refers to painful or difficult urination, often a symptom of medical conditions such as urinary tract infections, UTIs, kidney stones, or sexually transmitted infections. It is a common clinical symptom indicating an underlying issue in the urinary system. In the UK, the Great Writ is better known by what name? Habeas corpus. Habeas corpus, often referred to as the Great Writ, is a legal recourse requiring a person under arrest to be brought before a court or judge, especially to secure the person's release unless lawful grounds are shown for their detention. This fundamental right protects against unlawful and indefinite imprisonment, ensuring due process. In October 2011, which planet in our solar system was mistaken for a distress flare by a member of the public in Tynemouth, England? Jupiter. Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, is often visible to the naked eye and can appear exceptionally bright under certain conditions. Its prominent appearance can sometimes lead to misidentification, as seen in this anecdote where it was mistaken for a distress flare. Jupiter is known for its distinctive great red spot and numerous moons. Who wrote the 1939 story, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty? James Thurber. James Thurber, a celebrated American humorist and cartoonist, penned The Secret Life of Walter Mitty in 1939, a classic short story exploring themes of escapism and unfulfilled desires. The story features a meek man who frequently retreats into heroic fantasies, and it has been adapted into films multiple times, highlighting its enduring cultural impact. The Cochiti Dam is in which U.S. state? New Mexico. The Cochiti Dam is an earthen dam located on the Rio Grande in Sandoval County, New Mexico, USA. Constructed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, its primary purpose is flood control and sediment retention, serving as a critical piece of infrastructure for water management in the region. Elizabeth Bloomer was the wife of which U.S. president? Gerald Ford. Elizabeth Bloomer Ford was the First Lady of the United States from 1974 to 1977, during her husband Gerald Ford's presidency. She was a prominent advocate for women's rights and breast cancer awareness, known for her candor on social issues. Poet and novelist Nazim Hikmat, one of the all-time greatest literary figures of the 20th century, was what nationality? Turkish. Nazim Hikmat was a renowned Turkish poet, playwright, and novelist, often considered one of the most important figures in 20th century Turkish literature. He was a committed communist and spent many years in prison and exile due to his political beliefs. Which island lies at the toe of Italy? Sicily. Sicily is the largest island in the Mediterranean Sea and an autonomous region of Italy, separated from the mainland by the narrow Strait of Messina. Its strategic location has given it a rich and varied history, influenced by numerous civilizations. What is the cube root of 125? 5. The cube root of a number, x, is a number, y, such that y cubed, y times y equals x. In this case, 5 times 5 times 5 equals 125, making 5 the cube root of 125. Which country has the International Vehicle Registration CDN? Canada. The International Vehicle Registration Code, CDN, is assigned to Canada. These codes are standardized by the United Nations and used to identify the country of registration for vehicles in international traffic. In which English city is highwayman Dick Turpin buried? York. Dick Turpin was an 18th century English highwayman whose exploits were romanticized after his death, making him a prominent figure in English folklore. He was executed for horse theft in York in 1739 and is believed to be buried in the city's St. George's churchyard. Deva was the Roman name for which Cheshire city? Chester. Deva Victrix was a Roman legionary fortress and a major Roman settlement in the province of Britannia. It is now known as Chester, a city in Cheshire, England, showcasing its historical significance and Roman origins. The ingredients for the 1947 wedding cake for the future Queen Elizabeth II were present from the Girl Guides of which country? Australia. The wedding cake for Princess Elizabeth and Philip Mountbatten in 1947 was a significant post-war event. Ingredients for the 4-tier, 9-foot-tall cake were sourced from various Commonwealth countries, including Australia, symbolizing unity and global support during a time of austerity. The Axel Springer Company, the largest publishing house in Europe, has its headquarters in which city? Berlin. Axel Springer SE is a major German digital and media company and one of the largest publishing houses in Europe. Its headquarters are located in Berlin, Germany, reflecting its prominent position in the European media landscape. Shiraz is a variety of which fruit? Grape. Shiraz, also known as Syrah, is a dark-skinned grape variety primarily used for red wine production. Originating from the Rhône Valley in France, it is now cultivated globally, recognized for its distinctive flavor profile in wines. Ailuropoda melanoluca is the scientific name for which animal? Panda. Ailuropoda melanoluca is the scientific name for the giant panda, a bear native to south-central China. This species is easily recognizable by the large, distinctive black patches around its eyes, over the ears, and across its round body. How many furlongs constitute a mile? 8. A furlong is a unit of distance, historically defined as 660 feet or 220 yards. It is precisely 1/8 of a mile. This unit has ancient origins and was commonly used in agriculture and horse racing. Who was the Democratic Party's nominee for president in the 2004 United States presidential election? John Kerry. John Kerry served as the Democratic Party's presidential nominee in 2004, ultimately losing to incumbent George W. Bush. He later served as the 68th United States Secretary of State from 2013 to 2017. Which animal is characterized by a sorrel coat, typically described as a light reddish-brown color? Horse. In equines, sorrel refers to a specific coat color, characterized by a reddish-brown body with flaxen or lighter mane and tail. It is a common color variation seen primarily in horses and related species. Who authored the influential 1970 book, Future Shock? Alvin Toffler. Future Shock is a seminal work by American futurist Alvin Toffler, published in 1970. The book defines future shock as a psychological state of distress or disorientation caused by too much change in too short a period, warning about the rapid societal and technological changes of the late 20th century. What is the name of the four-letter word, beginning with A, referring to an ancient Egyptian bull god symbolizing fertility and strength in war? Apis. Apis was a sacred bull deity in ancient Egyptian religion, worshipped primarily in the Memphis region. Believed to be an incarnation of Ptah and later Osiris, Apis bulls were associated with fertility, strength, and divine power, playing a significant role in religious rituals and the afterlife beliefs. Which four-letter word, beginning with F, refers to the puffer fish, a Japanese delicacy prepared by authorized chefs after meticulously removing its highly poisonous parts? Fugu. Fugu is the Japanese term for pufferfish, a highly prized delicacy despite containing potent neurotoxins like tetrodotoxin in its organs. Its preparation is strictly regulated in Japan, requiring licensed chefs to meticulously remove poisonous parts to ensure it is safe for consumption. Which four-letter word, beginning with H, refers to a traditional folk dance, common in Romania and Israel, performed by participants forming a ring? Hora. Hora is a traditional circle dance popular in various Eastern European cultures, including Romania, Moldova, and Israel. Dancers hold hands in a circle and perform a specific set of steps, often accompanied by lively music, symbolizing community and celebration. Which four-letter word, beginning with I, designates the leader of prayers in a mosque? Imam. An imam is a spiritual leader in Islam, particularly responsible for leading congregational prayers in a mosque. The role also encompasses providing religious guidance, delivering sermons, and serving as a community leader in many Muslim societies. Which four-letter word, beginning with J, identifies a soft, long, and shiny vegetable fiber that is commonly spun into coarse, strong threads? Jute. Jute is a natural vegetable fiber, known for its long, shiny, and strong characteristics, making it one of the most affordable natural fibers. It is primarily used for manufacturing packaging materials like burlap, sacks, and ropes, and is also increasingly utilized in textiles and composites. Which four-letter word, beginning with K, describes a traditional Polynesian narcotic and sedative drink derived from the crushed roots of a plant belonging to the pepper family? Kava. Kava is a traditional ceremonial drink from the Pacific Islands, made from the roots of the kava plant, Piper mathysticum. It is consumed for its sedative and anxiolytic properties, playing a significant role in social, religious, and medicinal practices across Polynesia, Melanesia, and Micronesia. Which four-letter word, beginning with M, refers to the wise men from the East who, according to Christian tradition, brought gifts to the infant Jesus? Magi. The Magi, often referred to as the wise men or kings, were astrologers or priests from ancient Persia, the East, who visited Jesus after his birth, bearing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Their visit is a central event in the Christian narrative of the Nativity, celebrated as Epiphany. Which four-letter word beginning with N describes a star showing a sudden large increase in brightness, then gradually returning to its original state over a period of weeks to years? Nova. A nova is a transient astronomical event that causes the sudden appearance of a new, bright star. It occurs in a binary star system where a white dwarf accretes matter from a companion star, leading to a runaway thermonuclear reaction on its surface. Which four-letter word beginning with P refers to a beaver skin used as a standard unit of value in the fur trade? Plu. A plu was a historical unit of value, primarily a prime beaver pelt, used extensively in the North American fur trade. This system allowed for a standardized form of exchange between indigenous peoples and European traders. Which four-letter word beginning with Q refers to one of 5 children born at the same time from the same pregnancy? Quin. A Kuan is an informal term used to refer to one of 5 children born from the same pregnancy, more formally known as a quintuplet. This term falls within the general vocabulary related to multiple births.